All right. We're live on Tom Rowland Podcast, live on Qualified Captain.
What's happening?
We're sitting on the back of the Gotcha Sportfisher at Hawks Cay Marina. We're celebrating the opening of this awesome store. What do you guys think about that?
It's awesome, man. Heard a lot about it. Believe it or not, I was actually here when I was like 4 or 5 years old, and my mom was showing me some pictures, and we're looking back, and I saw all this. Like, man, it looks good here now. Did a lot of work, too.
So you guys went fishing today, huh?
We went fishing today. It was a little choppy out there, but we made it happen.
What'd you see?
Man, I think we saw a couple of mackerel at first, but no, we wanted to go further, but it got kind of nasty. So,
yeah. Well, I mean, the weather forecast has been horrible, and it's much better than I thought it was going to be. So I'm actually quite surprised that any of us left the dock today.
Yeah, I was curious too. When you guys said, well, Chris here, shout out to Chris. He's awesome, the dock master here. He was like, yeah, man, you're going fishing tomorrow. I'm like, oh, okay, I did not expect that. So, and then he hooked us up with David here, and it's been great.
So,
awesome
Dave,
boat.
How long have you been at Hawks Cay?
I've been running boats out of Hawks Cay for about 15 years.
15?
Yep.
Yeah.
I started out on the Snapshot, which is another boat here. Came down, worked on it, and I worked with Dave Perry for a while. And then I bought this boat like 6 years ago.
Nice.
And Sheldon was nice enough to give me a slip in the marina.
And so you've been on the water a lot longer than that.
Oh, yeah. I started working on my dad grew up. We had party boats, which are drift boats that take out, like 50, 60 people, lots of people. And that's what I did growing up. My dad owned those growing up, and I started working on the boats when I was 12 years old.
Wow. So one of the things, as far as meeting Aaron, we've never met in person until today. One of the ways that I wanted to make sure that I tried not to meet Aaron was to end up on his page as the qualified captain. Like that's one thing. So I was going to ask both of you guys, in all of your years of being out here on the water, what's the craziest qualified story that you've seen, Dave?
I don't know. I've seen a lot of them. A couple years ago here at Hawks Cay, I was on the Snapshot, running the Snapshot, and we saved some people from Hialeah and West Palm Beach. They were out there in a 20-foot, it was a well craft with 8 people on board, and the boat actually sunk. And we headed out there, and I had some Secret Service guys on board the boat, and we found them. They were in the water for 20 hours, and we were able to save them. But the first thing I was thinking, the seas were like, over 8 foot high. Like, what were you doing out here the day before? Because it was just as rough the day before.
That's the most common mistake all the time. I see it. Like, what are you guys doing out here? They don't really know to study the weather and all that. And
these people didn't have life jackets on the boat. I mean, how do you not have a life jacket for everybody on board the boat?
Well, so many people start out just on, we're just going to go right out here. And then the engine dies or something like that, and then it's a north wind and it's blowing, and the next thing you know, you're way out there. I mean, you never intended to go out there. That's probably how it happens.
It happens so quick, and it happens to people that are qualified too. I mean,
here's the thing:
stuff happens.
We all make mistakes. We have all been there. I've done plenty. I know you probably have. And but the thing that, to me, what I've noticed over the years of doing this is the lack of education. When people just go and buy a boat and want to go fishing and catch wahoo and do all this stuff, and it's just like, man, you didn't take any second to learn. Like, okay, talk to the locals. Wouldn't you love to have somebody that's into it maybe ask you a question like, hey, should we go out today? What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. Or when you first, especially if you're having a boat and you're taking it somewhere where you haven't been, you might want to think about hiring one of the local guys for a day or two, show you the area, show you the water. And when you buy a boat, they should, a lot of these people, they just buy a boat. They don't tell you what, it's a nice thing about buying a boat new from a dealer. They'll usually go through that stuff. A lot of people buy those used boats from the neighbor down the street that have no clue. When you usually buy them from a dealer, it's one thing good about buying a new boat, they're going to tell you about the boat.
So it made me think, that's kind of how Qualified Captain started. So I worked at a marina, and a lot of people, we would try to go help, and they would get real defensive. Oh, I know what we're doing. I'm like, okay, whatever. We go and watch, and clearly you have no idea what you're doing. So for people that are listening, and I tell this to people all the time, it's not a shame to go reach out to a local captain like me, teach you how to run your new boat. You just bought a 42-foot center console. It's not like your 28-foot or whatever it might be,
Yeah, no, that's a little bit too much boat for that's too much boat for somebody that owned a 20-footer.
Yeah,
like you need assistance and help. But a lot of people ask me that, like, is it cool to talk to a fishing guide, like, and ask them questions? I'm like, yeah, but you gotta give them the right information. You gotta say, hey, look, I just bought this boat. I don't know what I'm doing. I need you to help me. Would you help me kind of get out, find a couple of places that I can fish? I don't need secret spots. I just need community holes, right? And I want to be able to get there and get back with my family safe and sound. Like, any captain's going to go, oh yeah, sure, I'll be happy to do that. But then when you start, like, that's a big difference between like going with somebody and trying to get their spots.
Yeah. No, I know a lot of captains that, you know, locally that'll have so much more respect for somebody that does that than to just go wing it and you know, troll right in front of their spread or whatever, you know.
Or you take them someplace and then the next day they're there.
Yeah.
And then for the next month they're there.
I know.
And then you never can fish that spot again because they're there and all their buddies are there.
I know a lot of new boat owners that are very talented just from, you know, learning from somebody that knows what they're doing. So
right.
That's my goal is how you just educate yourself. You know, there's no shame in hiring a captain to go train you how to run your boat. Like,
so that's how the qualified captain started. When did you know that like you had something here with the qualified captain?
At first, I started in 2016. So for the first 2 years, I had no idea. I mean, I was a CTO captain and I was working at a marina. I worked at the marina for like 11 years and, it was in 2020, right during COVID. I remember that was when everybody bought a boat. Remember?
Yeah.
They bought that or RVs, and that's when
had a lot of free time.
Yeah. and that's when our following went up because I started getting more content sent to me, and I just shared it, and we hit 500,000 followers there, and that was when I have a buddy he's a sales rep who sells clothing, apparel brands, Smith sunglasses, all this stuff, and he told me, he's like, hey man, like you need to leave your job now and start pursuing something. So that's when I did it, and it's been a good run.
So did you have to leave right away, or could you do kind of both for a little while?
I did both for at least 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
And I had a bedroom full of boxes and crap everywhere. I was actually losing money by just having a disaster of a mess in there.
And that's T-shirts and stuff?
T-shirt. Oh yeah, we were 90% of my revenue at the time was all merchandise because everybody wanted to wear a brand. Now, my sister is a graphic designer, and I brought her on full time, and she's the one who, you know, she loves doing that kind of stuff. So she's the one choosing the shirt styles, the performance shirts that I'm wearing now, all that kind of stuff. And it's been great having her on. So she's a full-time manager now for us.
And so that stuff is going to be in this new store.
Yeah, Hawks Cay. I'm stoked that they got us in there. Yeah, and we got a few more things in the works right now. Wait till everybody gets here to find out. But,
well, can you tell us? Like, I know what one of them is.
Yeah, we're hoping we'd be having it right now, but they're going to have a very little special drink coming soon for us. So
very cool.
Yeah.
And that's going to be like an exclusive to the...
Exclusive only to here.
Cool.
Yep. And so I did a collaboration with Cape Brewery up in New Jersey, big brewery up there, one of the biggest up in the Northeast, and hopefully try to get that down here too.
Yeah, that's awesome. So we got so much stuff going on here. Dave, you've been here 15 years. We've been here for 20 years, and we've seen a lot of different things happen at the resort. But I think what's about to happen here is one of the more exciting renovations that we've seen, probably. From what I understand, this new store has been in progress for a long time, and it's finally up and running, and today's the soft open. You can go in there and you can get all kinds of stuff. It's a beautiful store inside. But they're redoing this whole marina front here, like with all this tile. That's going to go all the way up and down, and then the marina. That's what is really exciting to me, is that the marina is getting a complete refresh. It's going to be a brand new marina in here, and then a new restaurant with Jeremy Ford, the top chef.
Yep.
You see that guy?
I haven't yet, but I'm looking forward to plan on it.
I'm hoping that that we do a hook and cook with Jeremy Ford. That's what we need to do next time is do that. Go out and catch something and then take it to him and see what he can do with it.
Yeah, I've heard so much good about this place, and then when they reached out to us, I forwarded the message to my sales rep, and he called me. He's like, dude, this place is awesome. Like, you need to be a part of this. And because we had a lot of different resorts and everything, but I was like,
you were here when you were 5?
Yeah, and my mom was showing me pictures, and once I saw that, I was like, we're gonna come back down here. And but this is just our little soft opening. Stoked to be here for that and the parade they're doing tonight for the Christmas parade. But we're gonna come back down here in April, May. Hopefully, bring my Onslow Bay down here. I got a 33-foot Onslow Bay, and do some fishing. I have a big diver, and Dallas, what a legend today, man.
He's good, right?
He's good. We're rambling for hours about diving and
I
Alaska.
thought I was going to have to talk to you all day. I'm glad I brought Dallas along.
He's a good
That's
dude.
what a good mate does for you. You know, that's conversation is at a minimum unless you really want to.
Dallas is actually my co-captain. He runs the boat probably more than I do. Nowadays. Yeah.
Right on.
My
Where does Dallas come from?
He comes from Michigan. He moved down here when he was 14, so he's been down here a long time.
Right on.
And he's been with me since I've had the gotcha.
Okay.
He's been my main guy. He started out as a mate, and about 2 years being a mate, then he got his captain's license, and he's really, well, he'll tell you.
He's incredible.
Really, really good.
Very, very well spoken, and like.
Does he like to spearfish?
Well, yeah, then that's so.
That's all they talked about for 3 hours.
I love the fish. Don't get me wrong, but if I had the choice to go spearfish or fish, I'm going spearfish.
So, what's your favorite thing to go for?
Oh, man, when you shoot a wahoo, there's nothing else like it in the world. But the only problem with wahoo is, man, it's just a lot of work to maybe get one or two, you know.
And gear,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. Oh, and gear, yeah. Gear's, I mean, once you have it, though, you have it forever, you know. But
I mean, even just getting in the water with all that stuff, the first time you do that, there's just like line and bungees and buoys and everything. That's tough to get used to.
And current, too, because you want to make sure you stay on the ledge or the wreck, you know, and that's a whole other nightmare. But the diving we have off the Carolinas are amazing, and love shooting big hogfish and all that.
So you're getting big hogfish up there?
My buddy holds world record.
No kidding.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, and you guys may know even more about this than me, but a lot of times the fish is the biggest, a species is the biggest in the northernmost portion of their range. Have you ever noticed that?
I know I have. Yeah.
Like for bonefish, like the world record bonefishers are like in Bimini and like Biscayne Bay and in the Florida Keys. And then the further south you go, the smaller they get and the more plentiful they get.
I'm glad you brought that up.
But then in as you go north, you tend to get the biggest fish of the species in that range. And I guess that's true for the hogfish, because the hogfish couldn't possibly be going a lot further north than
you're so right with that, because I'm originally from New Jersey up there, like South Jersey, and I know a lot of buddies that spearfish up there, and the sheep's head they're shooting up there are massive, and I don't think they go much further than like, you know, Atlantic City area.
What's a massive sheep's head?
12 pounds.
12?
Yeah.
Dang.
12
I think it'll take your leg off.
12 to 14 pound sheep's head is freaking huge.
It's got a mouth like that full of teeth.
Yeah, we get like 8-10 pounders every once in a while by us, but no, spiny lobster. We, you know,
big.
I showed you.
You don't have a lot of people that dive up there, though, do you? I mean, it's not like down here. Like you come down here to Hawks Cay and get on the snorkel boat. You got 50 people on the boat. I'm sure
they're probably going to show up now that I'm talking about it.
Yeah, they don't load up 50 people on the boats up there. I mean, it's pretty much a recreational thing, right?
Well, yeah, you gotta know how to free dive too. That's what Dallas was telling me. I mean, it seems like he's a pretty talented, you know, free diver, and that's not an easy sport. Scuba diving, you know, you could get certified to do it, but now if you want to go, you know, shoot big hogfish or African pompano and stuff, you got to be a good free diver. Scuba, you can do it, but it's like,
well, the fish hear you coming too. They hear the
hear
bubbles,
you
you breathe in, they scatter.
It's a lot louder.
yeah. But
you got to go someplace where nobody's ever spearfished to be able to do it like that for the most part, I think.
We explore a lot of places. I was showing him some pictures. We actually on Monday this week, I was out at Frying Pan Tower. I don't know if you're familiar with that place.
No.
It's an old Coast Guard tower that's out about 30 miles off of Bald Head Island in North Carolina.
Okay.
That a good friend of mine, Richard Neal, bought at a government auction. So he owns this, you know, huge tower. That was an old lights tower that they built after the war because a lot of these boats were running aground. They were cutting the shoals short. So he put the Coast Guard put 4 of them out there. There's one up in Diamond Shoals and all the way up the East Coast, and to go around the shoals.
So they're like our lighthouses that are out here on the reef.
Yeah, but these are like towers with like 12 bedrooms in there.
Oh,
nice.
Somebody owns that, and you can just go out there. That's like Stiltsville times 100.
So we're in the process right now. He started a nonprofit trying to restore the place. The biggest issue is it's we're, I think, 5 miles past federal waters. So really nobody, like the government doesn't want anything to do with it. We were trying, like, you know, it's saved lives over the years. That Richard's out there 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, and he's proven time and time and again to save lives, whether it's radio transmissions or finding missing divers, all that stuff. And you would think, like, hey, let's bring this back, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, they
built those for that purpose, for saving lives, or what were they built for?
They really built it as a light station to go around the shoals.
Yeah.
That was the main purpose. But now, some of these radio transmissions only go like 20 miles. When we're running 40 to 60 miles to go fish, and he's relayed a lot of calls to Sector North Carolina to get.
It's way up off the water. You said, right?
Yeah. He's got Wi-Fi and satellite out there.
Is that where you were the other day?
Yeah. I sent you the picture.
Yeah, that was so cool. It's like, look where I am, and it's like this tower, and then there's this little tiny boat out there, and it's obviously in the middle of the
I was
ocean.
shitting my pants all night long. Like, please stay on that mooring. Don't break
Yeah.
off.
That was your boat, right?
Yeah.
That little small boat was his boat.
Yeah, and
30-some miles out there.
So we'll lift everybody up one by one, and all of our gear goes in one bag. We lift it all up at once, and then I'll go set it up in the mooring, and one or two of us got to swim back to go get lifted up.
swim back,
Swim back about like 300-400 yards.
dude. What was the current like?
So the current sucks. Usually the current back to the boat's easy. We don't even need anything, but they'll toss me out a line or the big buoy on it and pull me in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, it seems easy. That's another way you can get yourself in
300 yards.
real trouble. Is it seems easy. You're only going 300 yards, and then there's current, and then it's like the wind, and all of a sudden you're thinking, I'm a really good swimmer, but I'm not going to make that.
I told them, I said, look, guys, I know the currents. We can look at the current and tell. And I said, you're throwing this out. And worst case scenario, he's got this, it looks like the shape of a U with two, like, propellers on the side. And it's like a scooter that I think he can go like 8 miles on the thing. So he'll chuck it off the tower. And if somebody goes missing or whatever, a diver, he can pull them back. He just hold on. It's like a scooter. Yeah.
Wow. And so is that how everyone gets on that tower?
No,
to swim?
No, so we'll do one by one. So we'll throw like I'll get you up on the bow. He'll lay down the boatswain's chair, strap on, and depending on the weather, you got like 10, 20 seconds to get on that thing because I'm just going like this, and it's not easy.
And how long does he stay out there?
He usually, like I said, does like 1 to 2 weeks on. He tries to get out there as much as he can.
Okay.
Well, you have people that stay actually out there. They pay to stay out there, right?
Yeah. They do until now. He's got a nonprofit though, and I mean, people will donate and they'll come out there. We had one weekend I was out there. We had like 20 Boy Scouts out there, and it was cool, man. They were learning how to drive ROVs, and we're running like. There's a lot of people that donate a lot of equipment out there. Noah uses some of the tools out there. Honestly, when you really look at it, it's a piece of maritime history. And look how much people donate to probably all the lighthouses on the coast. And
right, a lighthouse is a cool thing, man. I mean, it's just like it's like an iconic little thing that really, as soon as you see it, that's alligator. That's alligator.
Yeah, they're doing a big nonprofit thing on that. They're Rob Dixon and all those guys are restoring alligator reef. They do a big swimming thing out to the.
That's awesome.
Out to the alligator and back.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And so when do they think they're going to start working on that, or are they working on it right now?
I don't know, but I know it's coming soon. I know that they're like you were saying, you're looking for grants. They're looking for grants from the government to restore it. Yeah, because it's tough to as a regular citizen to come up with that kind of money. You need people that donate money,
right?
People that are passionate about the environment and saving history. It's history. It's been there forever.
Exactly. And Richard's put in so much time and effort on that place to see before and after pictures. And our main mission is saying, hey, guys, this is a huge safety tool. Take advantage of it. There's no excuse not to.
Yeah, it helps to have people out there.
Damn right,
saving lives.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because there's nobody else out there.
No.
I mean, and if you're to go on a helicopter, you're looking for,
needle in a haystack.
Needle in a haystack.
And he can use that as a tool to land a helicopter out there.
Right.
That's
super cool. So how many are there of those?
I think there's 2 others left. There's Diamond Shoals and there's another one north. I can't think of the name of it, but I know Diamond Shoals. There's another owner there that bought it at the same government auction. Imagine that. Imagine looking at an auction. You see a place out in the middle of the ocean. It's for sale.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I mean, this little island right over here, they sold this little island. It's got no power, no water, nothing on it at all. They built that house over there.
Got a house on it now.
And it's completely off the grid, I guess.
Isn't it all I think it's all solar, isn't it?
I think it's all solar with cisterns and generators probably, but they probably got the island for nothing.
I think Richard got it for around $80,000, which there was some bids for like $200, and a lot of people backed out, and Richard snagged it for $80. And and it's now with all the work he's done, he can run that place off 100% solar now.
Really?
Yep.
And what about water? What does he do for water?
So water is all rainwater. It's all reverse osmosis filter system he's got in there. Yeah. We got Culligan who donated us a lot of like drinking. Well, we won't drink that shit. Who knows what's in there? But
algae starts growing.
Yeah. But no, it's a magical place, and anybody that's listening, check it out on his fryingpantower.org. He's taken a lot of donations, and it's such a cool. I would love to get you guys out there, man.
Yeah, that'd be so cool.
Yeah.
I mean, anytime you're out in the middle of the ocean, even if it's on the boat, whatever, you're 100 miles offshore, or especially if it's like on a tower. Like we've fished around like the oil rigs in Louisiana and stuff like that, and you're way out there, and you see the people up there. But I've never actually gotten on one of those. I've only been on a boat that far out. But there's a magical kind of feeling to being that far out. But if you were on the tower, that's got to be totally different. And the star show out there has got to be unbelievable.
We'll shut all the lights off at night, put some blow-up mattresses on the helipad. Oh, I've slept up there.
Oh, I bet.
You're looking up, and it's the Milky Way is incredible. But you know what else blew my mind more than anything up there is the amount of satellites I saw.
Yeah.
There's an app, too, that I forget what it's called, but you can track and see, like,
Yeah.
what satellites coming. So we're looking at it, and we're like, okay, there's one at Cuba right now. Should be here in about 3 minutes. It's running 30,000 miles an hour, you know?
Did you see the Starlink ones that
Yeah,
are in the line?
Everywhere.
Did you see the drones in
Jersey?
New Jersey?
Dude, what the heck's going on?
I don't have any idea, but I would like to know. I figure you know more than we do. We're down here at the
You're from Jersey.
I'm originally from Jersey, yeah, and I got all my buddies reaching out to me. They're like, dude, what's going on, man? Because I got a couple good ties with Coast Guard and some of the guys in the military, but dude, it's really,
what do they say?
it's really weird. No, they have no idea, and they're like, it's really frustrating because, like, you know, I'm not gonna get political, but there's a lot of the governor doesn't say anything about it. A lot of the mayors are all joining forces because I guess somebody's got to know what the heck it is, right?
Somebody knows.
Besides the SUV.
Well, you would think someone knows, but maybe they don't. I mean, is it possible
that's a
that
problem.
there's like, well, I mean, if somebody doesn't know what it is, then, I mean, it's like, what? I mean, there is weird stuff up there. I don't know.
No, yeah, I don't think it's
Aliens.
No, yeah, thank you.
It's probably from Earth.
It's some military. Something.
I mean, I think that about most of the things that you see is like, I mean, could that just be like some kind of spacecraft? I mean, not a spacecraft, but like an experimental thing that the military's trying out or something.
But it's like one of those things where if you're going to make it that blatantly obvious, you got to tell the public because that's our tax dollars that are going away.
Yeah, there's a lot of other places they could be flying that not a million people are going to look up there and see it.
I have my buddy, literally, he's just like, dude, I'm like kind of worried about my family. I don't know what the heck this thing is.
Some people probably think it's some sort of spy mission or something.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
think it's come out and
With
tell
all the
some-
crap
tell
that's
something.
going on, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, man, they were seriously concerned, and their message to me, I'm like, dude, I have no idea.
But there's a lot more. There's a lot more of those sightings because everybody has a phone in their pocket. Everybody has some sort of a camera and a video camera available, especially as a phone. And so you see something weird in the sky, people are taking videos of it. But and you see more and more and more of them. All you got to do is look on Instagram, and there's a zillion of them, and they look all different. But this one's different. It's like big, and then there's another little thing off the side of it.
There's that. I think there's like, I don't know, like I've heard over 100 sightings. You know?
I would imagine. Well, I mean, yeah.
But more than just
over Jersey?
I think it's more than just one drone, though.
You think so?
That's what I've heard.
Well, have you seen
But
those
there's also-
drone shows? Like,
Yeah, they're cool.
well, yeah, but I mean, they put up like 10,000 drones, and they make it look like, I don't know, they can do like a billboard in the sky of anything you want. Like
Yeah.
that one from China was amazing. I mean, it had like a horse running, and then it went to like a billboard of some product, and then it went to, you know, all these different things. And I would imagine that they're just putting it up in a grid, and then the lights are, you know.
Whatever it is, or some AI system that's good. I don't think there's people there driving the damn thing.
No,
Yeah.
there's no way because the lights are like shooting across the thing.
Yeah.
So I
Maybe
think
I could
it's
get in
like,
touch with them and put something up there like,
Gotcha.
Hawks Cay Resort.
gotcha, sport fishing. See, they used to. This is the new thing. Like everything that was radio is now podcast, right? Everything that it was, everything that was TV is now streaming or social media or whatever.
media.
The airplanes that used to pull the banners. Pretty soon, it's going to be at night. You have a drone show. You can put Gotcha Sport Fishing up there.
That would be perfect.
Like, there's a guy, I don't know him personally, but I've heard a story in the Gulf. He started with one pontoon and a big screen and doing ads, just going up and down the coast. Yeah, now he's got like 200 boats. He's probably killing it.
Well, you see those, like I was just up in Lauderdale, and they're flying them planes all the time with the messages on the banners.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
Every time I'm up there. I don't go
I
up there
think
that
more
often.
people
but I
are
see 'em.
looking in the sky in the daytime than at night. I think we've lost touch with the stars at night. Like it used to be, there used to be a lot less things to do, right? We had three channels on TV when we were growing up.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
There wasn't
That was
much to do, so you'd be outside a lot more. And I don't think I don't know. Maybe we could get more people.
Trust me, I catch it, man. It's frustrating at times because, like, I do, believe it or not, I'm on my phone all the time. It's my job now, and I really do miss like actual physical labor. If that is like, working on the water or doing work on the motor or towing boats and stuff like that. To me, it's kind of weird when I'm just the kind of guy, if I don't finish a project and like see something hands done, I feel like I didn't accomplish anything that day. But when I'm on my phone, to me, it's just like I'm just being lazy, but that's not necessarily the truth. But I don't know.
But with what you've built, at what point does it become like not a burden, but like such a responsibility to be on the phone that you're like, I just don't know if I can do this anymore?
Well, there's got to be a point somewhere everybody's like, hey, you don't have anybody else helping you, like, post or find the content and all that stuff. And I was like, no, I do literally everything.
You don't have anyone helping?
No, the only reason why is because there's a lot of stuff that's sent to me that, like, I personally know to maybe reach out to the person and say, hey, like, what's the story behind this? Because, like, I'm not, every situation is different. It could have been mechanical failure. Somebody could have had a heart attack. Who the heck knows? Like, I want to know the full details. There's a lot of people out there that think they know what's going on, and I just don't trust anybody yet. There might be that person out there, but you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, so with a qualified captain, your intent is to educate people.
Well, it wasn't at first, but
right.
But then in 2020, when I left my job, people were like messaging me like, man, I'm learning more off your page than anything else. I've never thought this kind of stuff could happen on the water. So, and then I was like, it's a good point. So I started partnering up with a lot of captains that are training all of, like, at the helm training. There's a lot of different companies. We started making trauma kits, trying to tell people like, hey, this is what I carry on my boat. Maybe you should consider doing it, that kind of stuff. And next thing you know, we're promoting a lot of new safety tools and technology that's out there. So
you have a passion for the water too. So I mean, there's lots of different things on the water. Like you said, you're in the diving. Today we went fishing.
Yep.
There's lots of different things, lots of different people, lots of different fish.
Yep.
You're fishing with kids, you're fishing with adults, you're fishing with people in Louisiana, Florida, wherever. So
even recreational. I mean, me and my family, my girlfriend, we love to just go, even just anchor up on the weekends and chill. And that's, it's just, you can never get complacent in the water, no matter whether you're deep sea fishing or if you're just anchored up, because you're the only one out there that can help somebody, because you could be 10 miles away from help, and it's not like you just call the ambulance and say, hey, come pick us up.
Even then they don't show up right away.
Exactly. So let's say something happens next to you on the island, you might have a tourniquet on board and you can go help save a life right there, that kind of stuff. So it's just something, we're not trying to be the fun police, but just something to always think about, that kind of stuff,
How many days, Dave, do you fish?
Days, I would say
or
over
charters?
250. But we do a lot of like multiple trips in a day, especially here at Hawks Cay. We'll do a lot of like double halves. You get later in the year, summer, sometimes you can do like 3 halves in a day. You can do 3-4 hour trips, or you can do a full day, then a half day. So you can do night fishing. There's a lot.
And the fishing here supports that. I mean, because it's not very far out to the reef. You can get out to a quality fishing spot. You can put people on that. You can get back to the dock, turn the trip, and go. So in the course of a year, it's 250 trips or 250?
250 days. I mean, you lose days because of weather.
Right,
like today was windy and rough. Most of the boats canceled. We went out because we had season anglers. You have sometimes a guy will show up and he'll show up with a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old, and we've never done this before.
Right.
A day like today, you don't want to take them out there. You don't want to ruin it for them forever.
Right. Yeah.
They go out there and have a bad experience.
They'll never do it again.
They'll never do it again.
That's right.
Dad, I'm never going. I don't want to go with Dad again because
Yeah.
he took us out on a boat and we got sick or whatever.
And then you'd hate to get a bad review.
But we do. Yeah. Bad reviews are horrible because people that have a bad trip, we're honest with people. If it's rough, we tell them it's rough. And I got 3 kids myself, and I've been places where you've had a bad experience or whatever. You remember those,
Yeah, absolutely.
You remember those a lot more than the good ones, actually.
Absolutely, yeah. And the nice thing about here, where we're at, is you got the inshore, you got the offshore, but the closest reefs we can fish are just a couple miles offshore.
Right.
Obviously, in the summertime, we're chasing mahi, and you can run out to the humps. You can run out to 30 miles. But this time of the year, especially with the little families and the little kids, you can go really close. And catch lots of fish, lots of different kinds of fish. That's another thing. People a lot of areas in the country, you go certain places, you go up to, like New Jersey, certain times of the year, You're catching bluefish.
Mhm.
That's what you're catching.
That's
You're not catching a lot of different species. You come out here, snappers, groupers, tunas,
Everything.
mackerel. There's
I would
just so
think
many
that
different species.
We probably have over 100 species that you
Catch
encounter
annually.
in the
Yeah.
year.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
probably more than 100. I mean, all
Absolutely.
the different snappers and groupers, of course. That's a big
That's
list.
probably
right there.
half of
And
your
then all the
100.
jacks.
Yeah.
That's insane.
And then there's just so many other things, the
The
pelagic
mackerels,
fish and
yep.
all that stuff. So what do you think the biggest challenge is for a working professional charter boat captain like yourself to get? I mean, you're 250 days. Could that be 500 trips? Probably on a good year.
It could
So
be,
you're
yeah.
running 500 trips. What's the most challenging thing to being able to successfully get 500 trips in a year?
I don't know. I don't know if it's every day is a challenge. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, the people. Sometimes you get people
Gotta
that have
land
never
fish.
done it. You know, you got to go out there, and some days the conditions. You know, the conditions is probably the most challenging part. You get out there now, you got to start thinking. Okay, the wind's out of this direction. The current's into the wind. You know, where am I going to have to go to be able to catch these people fish? You know, that's the biggest challenge.
Yeah, and show them a good time.
You know,
Do you keep a logbook?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
you-
just
you-
started doing that 2 years
Yeah,
ago.
well, you got to keep a log because with our federal permits, you got to log the fish that you catch
Yep.
and the fish you release. So
So
you got to not only log the ones that you kept, you got to log some ones you throw back.
okay, is every state? I'm sure Sherman's different, maybe.
I don't know. The federal permits,
Oh,
I
it's
think,
federal.
are statewide.
Okay,
It's
okay.
federal permits.
I gotcha.
And we pretty much gotcha. That's the name of my boat. You know what I say when people say gotcha?
This guy's got the dad jokes.
You know what I say when
What's
people
that?
say gotcha? That's the name of my boat. I got Tom with that.
Yeah,
earlier.
So-
you got me.
I got you.
Got you.
Well, so I started a logbook when I got this boat, and I'm excited because it's been finally a year, so I can look back and look at the moon, what was going on, the weather that day, and made me think. I was like, so qualified captains, we're coming out with a logbook this year. It's gonna be really cool and just easy to fill in, just the basics for whether it's recreational or fishing, whatever. It's something cool that your grandkid can maybe look back at one day and like, oh, look
Right.
at Dad's logbook. You know?
That's
What we
super
got,
cool.
yeah.
What do you guys think is the most important information that for whatever kind of fishing that you're doing? We're all three doing kind of different kinds of fishing. You're a lot more offshore and definitely running a lot of trips right out to the reef here. I'm more on the inshore side. You're in a different area. I'm just wondering if there's some common things that we all think are the most important pieces of information that you can keep in a logbook that can help you to replicate whatever. I mean, that's why I keep a logbook, because I want to not only know what I did, but if it was successful, I want to do that again 2 weeks later when the tide's the same. Or this time next year when we have the same type of weather and
Or the moon.
yeah,
the moon. It's a full moon. Next
right.
year
So
at the
what do
same
you guys
time.
what do you guys keep track of?
So the moon, yeah, obviously, but for me as a diver, we're looking at chlorophyll, temperature for the visibility. Want to see what that's like. What was the viz like this day? Was it good? Was it bad? What tide were you diving at? What was the water temperature, the chlorophyll level, all that kind of stuff. So that for me, that's like the two top things we look at for diving purposes. At
Really,
least.
that's interesting
Yeah.
because that is not in my logbook.
See,
None of those things.
everything's different.
I know.
Man?
I don't do water clarity or any of that kind of stuff
Yeah.
either. Basically, we fish so much. It's like, I mean, the moon is a lot. Like the mutton
Oh,
spawn. It's like an every year thing.
Mhm.
You don't really have to log it. You know that the full moon, when it comes in the summer, this is going to be biting. The full moon in August, September. If you want to go catch the cabarras, they're going to be biting.
Right.
So a lot of that, when the dolphin are showing up.
Do you notice? Have you noticed over the time that you're doing that? Say for the cuberas, that a couple years it's later and a couple years it's
It
earlier.
does change a little bit. Like sometimes it'll be really good in August, and then it won't be so good in September. And one year it won't. August, it's like fall. The moon falls a little later. In August they don't really bite that well, but then September comes and it's like that's when it's really happening.
Right.
Which is I like when September because I live here,
Mhm.
so there's not a lot of people here. And once you get into September, beginning of August you get the moon. There's still people here.
So
School
September's
hasn't
fun.
started. Yeah, there's not a lot of people here. It's hurricane season.
Yeah.
People aren't on vacation. School started.
That's my favorite.
People already
time.
spent all their money on their summer vacation, so they're
Same-
saving money for Thanksgiving, Christmas break,
I don't
whatever.
know. I don't know about you, but I think that September is the hottest month of the year here.
I believe
hot.
I
that.
think it's hotter
I can see that.
than August, and so then you have that other thing where people are looking for a break, and in a lot of other parts of the country, you're getting your first couple of cold fronts, you're getting your first touch of fall, and people want
The
to
leaves
travel
are
there.
starting
They
to
want to
change,
stay
yeah.
where they are, but like this time of the year, it's cold everywhere else, and people want to be here because it's beautiful and warm. And even when it's blowing super bad, we're complaining that the weather is terrible. But if you were from Minnesota,
Yeah.
this is the greatest day you've ever been out on in your life.
People in Chicago that are living on the lake, it blows every day,
Right.
all day.
Right.
It was cold yesterday when we got here.
Yeah, but I think it was supposed to be even colder. It was supposed to be. The forecast was for 59 yesterday morning.
We've had the coldest winter by far. So I mean, at least December so far up in North Carolina. But I'll tell you what, the Wahoo bite's been good. So I don't know what's
So when will you go Wahoo fishing in the? Does temperature make any difference to you?
Yeah, I think starting. Wahoo could be year round by us, but really the early fall, like October, November, December is awesome.
So speaking of the biggest fish, or the fish being the biggest in the northernmost portion of the range, what's an average Wahoo for you up there?
40 pounds, 50 pounds.
And what's a big one?
80 to 100.
Okay. And what do you think a big one is here, Dave?
It's definitely not 80 to 100
No.
pounds.
No.
I mean, if you get a lot of certain times, you're a 30 pounder,
Yeah.
especially summertime, and you get a lot of what they call weehoos. You
Mhm.
catching them around the debris
Yeah.
and all that, and getting Wahoo 2 foot long.
You're 100% right with the north.
Well, it's just something that I've kind of noticed, and then a couple of people told me that that's kind of a scientific fact, and I thought, well, I've kind of suspected that because if you look at the records of certain fish, they're really far north, and I don't know, it was kind of like, oh, well, I've always kind of thought that was the case, but I've never had anyone that knew anything other than bro science, like, man, the fish are bigger up there. I don't know, but I think that's a real thing.
Well, just for the example, the sheeps that we were talking about earlier, when I saw my buddies sending me pictures of the sheeps that they're catching up in Jersey, I was like, damn, dude. Like, what the
Well, look at like the yellowtail snapper. We catch probably more yellowtail snapper down here than any other place in the whole country.
You do, yeah.
But the record it was in the Carolinas. I think now it's up around Panama City or somewhere up there,
or the
or
muttons.
Louisiana or something.
Yeah.
The muttons I was showing you, too. My buddies are shooting muttons that are freaking huge,
I think Rick Casey still holds the record for mutton caught in the tortuga.
How big
It's like
was his?
30 and a half pounds.
That's nuts.
Probably
yeah.
with Ralph Delph. Probably.
Actually, you know what? No, he caught it on the party boat.
Oh, did he? No kidding.
Yeah.
Catch a world record on a party
On
boat.
a
You probably
party
paid $29 to go out there.
World record hogfish is in North Carolina. World record scamp is in North Carolina on a pole spear. I don't know about anything else, but there's some big hogs and big scamps up there.
Hey, we catch smaller fish here, but we only got to go out about 4 miles.
That's what's awesome. Yeah.
We don't have to go 30,
Well, so
40
you know,
miles.
we'll go and stay at a resort in the middle of the ocean and then go there the next day.
There you go. But only so many people can stay at that resort. A lot more people can stay at Hawks Cay.
That's right.
But this place,
We can accommodate a lot more
and you know
people.
what's cool about Hawks Cay, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't know the area too well, but if you want to go fish inshore, it's right over here, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, you can go on the other side of those mangroves right there and catch a bonefish right there.
And the Gulf's
You
right
can catch
here.
a tarpon on the back of the gotcha right here.
I
But
guess
you're not supposed to.
Now, there's a no fishing sign right there.
There's a no fishing sign. But
no. I guess what I'm asking though, there's a clear inlet access to both the Atlantic and the Gulf here.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So there are low bridges, but if you have a skiff, you can go under any of these low bridges and you can go right out. If you have any sort of a tower, you need to go around the Long Key Bridge, and then you can go right out and straight to the Everglades.
Okay.
And you can keep on going all the way to Chuckaluski if you want to, very easily. I mean, and you could do a day trip.
That's a huge perk here because I feel like, for the most part, if you want to get to either the Gulf or the Atlantic, you might have to, depending on where you launch, you might have to go pretty far. Here, you can go to either one.
Well, not only that, but you can also go from the top of the Keys to the bottom of the Keys. So if we're like have a bay boat or a skiff, like I think this is the best place. This is the most central place in the Keys to everything that it offers, right? So Duck Key, sitting right here where we are at Hawks Cay, I can put the boat on the trailer. I can go fish Biscayne Bay in a day very easily. I can come back here and spend the night. I can go to the Everglades if I want to. I can go out and deep drop for swordfish if I want to. I can go all the way to Key West if I want to on a day trip.
Go to the dry tortugas.
Go to the dry tortugas.
That's awesome, man.
You can do all of that here, and there's very few other places. I mean, even in Key West offers a lot of stuff, but you've got the ocean and you've got the Gulf and you got the dry tortugas and all that. You don't have the Everglades as a real day trip. It's going to be an hour and a half drive up to here and then another hour across. So I mean, you could do it.
I didn't think about that,
it's
though.
longer.
Yeah.
But it's an hour back there, and you can be in the heart of the Everglades. It's an hour out here, and you can be deep dropping for swordfish, and it's an hour up there and an hour and a half down there. It's the ultimate place for
Smack
that.
in the middle.
Yeah.
Chris was cool. He told me too. They got a boat ramp here, so if you want to bring your boat, you can launch it here.
Yeah.
We're talking about doing in the future some competitions here.
Oh yeah. What kind of competition with the qualified captain?
Yeah, we're gonna do a boat. We're gonna do a boat dock.
I don't know. Your first time down here, you might want to hire me to take you out there so you don't make the show.
I would love to do it. We're talking having like 3 different divisions on a boat dock competition. 1 inboard, 1 twin motors outboard, and 1 single motor outboard, like boat docking competition.
So tell me about this. Okay, I love that because I've seen these boat docking competitions, and I'm assuming that they're happening up in your area.
No, they're actually in Ocean City, Maryland.
Okay, well, what kind of boat is that the controls are far forward?
Yep.
And those guys come hauling ass in there, and they have the hoops, and they throw them over.
They're badass, right?
Dude, those guys are serious, and I don't know why they have to dock so fast and makes it so good at it, because they obviously do that all the time.
Tide up there, right? Don't they get a big tide?
Yeah, they're it's just they're on the clock. You know, whoever can get the fastest wins. It's an ocean.
Well, I know in the competition, but there's just no way that you get that good at fast docking if you never fast dock.
But you know what those guys do up there? They're backing down on those billfish. You know,
there's that.
So that's practice too. I mean, you're not backing in between
For
pilings, but you're backing, and you got to put the mate's right there in the corner.
Right.
He's reaching out for the leader, so you got to put the mate. You know, he's in the corner. They're usually in the corner of the boat. You don't see them in the middle, or they're always in the corner because you want to be able to brace your legs, and they're backing up to that fish. So they're practicing all the time.
And it's not just that; those are all commercial crab boats. So when they're picking up their
That's
pots,
it.
they're
Oh
controls.
yeah, you got to
right
get the buoy's got to be in the right spot.
Yeah,
too.
That's the boat I'm talking about. They have the controls are far forward. It's a big open deck. It's
Oh,
commercial
those
crab
lobster
boat.
They're all
Oh, my
commercial
gosh.
crab boats. They're all jacked up with huge motors in there.
Dude, those things.
Wow, they're
they
single
come
motors
hauling
too,
ass
right?
In there,
Single
and
motors.
just whoosh, whoosh, and they are so good at that. And I'm sure people win by a fraction of a second.
No, it's insane.
See, I haven't even seen that.
Well, I don't think we can do quite that here, but there's been nothing with outboards. You know, you'd probably destroy your
Right.
outboard because water start coming over, whatever. But then you do it on a boat like this or whatever. It'd be fun, man. I think it'd be really
the
fun.
owner here would like it when he redid the docks, and some guy you do a
Yeah.
contest.
Let's
Some
do
guy
that
takes the
right
pi-
before. Let's do that right before.
They're going to take the pilings out
We'll
anyway,
put all
right?
bumpers right there.
Do it before that'd be part of the demolition.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Crab boat demolition.
I mentioned it to Chris, and Chris was like, "Dude, I'm all for that. Let's do it." So there was that, and then a trailer backing competition. Like, we'll get somebody to sponsor a trailer, and we'll just freaking
I love
beat
that.
the heck out of it.
I was in a trailer backing competition every single day when I first started guiding in Wyoming and Idaho and Montana, and we were the only outfitter that was operating in Idaho from Wyoming, and they didn't like that. So, first of all, it was under a microscope. Secondly, the ramps were long, and there would be a whole row of people trying to put their boats in, and then you had to go down this long ramp, and it was.
I've seen those ramps.
It was so. I mean, I'm 21 years old, and going in front of all these career guides, and I'm like, oh my God, I hope I don't jackknife this trailer right now. This is going to be the most embarrassing thing ever. But you know, when you're in that kind of situation, you get pretty good at backing a trailer because you have to, right?
Like, again, once I said, everybody makes mistakes, and it's going to happen. But the thing that bothers me the most is when, you know, you take your boat out once or twice a year on the 4th of July, the busiest holiday, and you've never taken the time to practice on maybe a Tuesday just to get somewhat comfortable. Or let's say load the ice and the coolers and the beach chairs up on, you know, before we get there, not at the boat ramp, that kind of stuff. It's little stuff like that. You know, It's called boat ramp etiquette. There's a whole
It's
article.
in the back of the pickup truck, but you could have, when you left the house, you could have already put it in the boat.
Did you ever hear of Fly Lords magazine?
Yeah.
We did a whole article about boat ramp etiquette.
Did you?
They interviewed me, and it was just like, you know,
Well,
it's pretty
it's
cool.
I mean, that's a great thing to do a tip on because there's so many things you can talk about, like staging before you even get anywhere near the boat ramp with all the straps off the butt. Like you see somebody pull up and they back in, and then they get out and they start taking off all the straps. Like, oh,
yeah,
come on,
boat
dude.
ramp etiquette, man. Just you know, think about it. You're holding up the line. You know, get everything ready.
Yeah, but you know that's why a lot of people buy a boat, get into boating, and then get right out of boating because it was a horrible experience. They almost got in a fight at the boat ramp because they don't know what they're doing. They didn't buy a good trailer because they were going cheap. they blow out a bearing, something happens. It's just a terrible experience. And next thing you know, they buy an RV and they're out of the boating. That's what I don't like to see that. Like, and and you could have, like, if that person could have gotten just a little bit of instruction and known a few things, even to know that 10 o'clock in the morning on the 4th of July is probably not the best time to put it in.
For the first time all
maybe
summer.
5 o'clock in the morning. That could be a lot better where nobody's there. You can get
You
the
don't
boat
know what
in.
you're doing. Definitely don't do it in the dark, though.
That's right.
I know we all work.
You get there and your light don't work.
I mean, I know we all work a busy life and schedule, but just if you have the chance, go down there, take a Tuesday. Just when there's nobody down there, go practice docking, do all that stuff. Like, don't wait till the 4th of July to go learn how to set an anchor. You know?
Yeah, right.
I see it all the time. When I was working with Cito, I saw it all the time.
Mm-hmm. So what kind of, how did you get the job with Cito?
Well, I was working still full-time at the marina, and I got a part-time gig with Cito. I mean, I was just on that grind mentality 7 days a week, trying to just make as much money as I can in that short summer season. And that's, got my captain's license, and I applied, and they called me and said, I mean, I knew how to drive a boat. I learned a lot real fast. They'd call you, be like, hey, there's a 45-footer 40 miles out. You want to go get it? I'm like, sure. You know? And then go tow it back and put it on the hip and find out how to get it in the slip somehow. That's literally how you got to learn, though. I mean, we all know how to drive a boat, but sometimes you got to just be put in the situation.
Yeah, that towing can be. I mean, that's the reason that when you get your captain's license, you got. I mean,
Towing
I'm sure you
endorsement.
had to get in a towing endorsement.
Yep, you got to get the tow endorsement. But that's the one thing about boating and even just a captain's license in general. Think about this. It's the one piece of machinery out there that you don't need to get any hands-on training to just go out. You can buy a 40-foot center console if you have the money and just turn key and go.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Now you buy a car, you got to have a driver's license.
You got to go to Home Depot and get a forklift job. You got to learn how to hands-on pass a test.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Yep.
So what? That's something that's
crazy.
Yeah, I know. You don't need anything to go out there, especially like kids these days. If you go out if you can get your kid a boat, they have to have a license now. They've got
my buddy, he said his kid just got his boating license. He's 7. I'm like, really?
Dude, it's a whole nother story.
Did the kid really pass the test?
There's
Yeah.
a whole,
or did they
or did
sit
the
on a
parents
computer
pass
and
the
the
test?
parents test
Yeah.
it, for him?
whole nother story about. I can talk about this on another episode maybe, but just kids getting the $400,000 boat and going
A $400,000 boat for a kid.
Trust me.
But on the other
13-year-old.
You seen it?
Oh yeah, I see it all the time.
On the other hand, they're out there. I like that. They're on the water. They're going fishing. They're not playing video games all day.
Yeah,
my
absolutely.
goal is, though, I love this. I had a kid, he's 22 years old the other day, and he was telling me about all the new safety equipment he got and like how he's been doing this and just hearing him tell me like that as a captain, safety has been his main priority was awesome. And like, so that's our goal, right? As these younger kids get older and they're getting their boating license, like we want the mentality like, hey, these older captains like yourself, when you see a young kid do that, they'll give a lot of respect for you to do that, So we're trying to make it like, hey, safety education, you're going to get a lot of respect, and you're a good, cool guy for doing that, and people are going to look up to you. That's how it should be.
You notice I gave you a safety spiel this morning.
Yeah,
wear the life jackets.
First
all
thing
that
you
stuff
did,
was.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
just super important.
It's super, super important.
Yeah.
You don't know until you have something happen.
And then
you're like, where's the life jacket?
Yeah.
You don't know?
Yeah.
I mean, how do you not know? Because a lot of these guys on these boats, even, they don't tell the people where a life jacket is.
Right.
Well, so when I have
this is a big boat. I mean,
yeah.
Where are you going to start looking?
Right. I know. And if something happens to you.
Yeah, I mean, I could have a heart attack.
Yeah.
Then
what happens?
anything. I could
But
fall
noticed-
overboard, whatever.
I interrupted you. I almost ended up on the qualified captain because I interrupted the safety briefing, but I noticed that you have that down.
yes.
Oh, I would. Yeah.
You
Yeah,
give that every
it's
single
everything.
day.
You repeat it every
give
day.
that
I do it
Absolutely.
every time, even if it's just
Yeah.
a buddy's trip with my friends diving and say, hey, look, here's the EPIRBs here, this.
Hey, you got to do it.
When I hear the young kids message me and say that, that's like mission accomplished.
What if there was like a I don't know what I wanted to ask you what you like a 5-year plan you think you're going to do with qualified captain, because you seem like you have a lot of stuff going on, but I wonder if there would be like an opportunity for like a junior qualified captain, which would be like a real thing, like a real course that somebody could go through, and it wouldn't be a captain's license, but it would be the kind of the next or the step before a captain's license.
So I'm glad you brought that up. We are actually in the approval process right now to we're building an online course because unfortunately, trust me, I would love to have captains all over the country teaching kids how to drive a boat, but you don't need to. So for now, we're on the process of building a course using some of our content instead of. You ever see the online course that they make the kids take now? Like it's like a cartoon. You don't even learn anything. So we're going to use our content with my face in front of it and like, you know, show people, hey, this is where this guy made a mistake, and we're going to get it state approved. We have the state of Florida approved. We're working on. I think we're going to start out with like 5 different states. It's a whole other ball game trying to get that.
Most in the north, in the southeast.
Most start in the southeast. We got I think one in the lakes, but
So what will that do? Just give the parents some extra confidence that their kid knows what they're doing, or will it be, you know, could it be used for insurance?
It's going to give the kid his boating safety certificate,
right?
So that's the hardest part to get for, at least for me. And then second, I think it's going to get them more interested in paying attention. Because if you see this course now, you don't even have to watch. You just hit play, hit the test, call it, look at your AI on your iPhone and ask for every question. You know, I'm serious. So our goal is at least get them entertained. If you get them entertained, they're going to pay attention.
You ought to partner up with like the schools, because I know like Coral Shores and I think Marathon, they do like where you can do your captains.
This would be the perfect place in the Florida Keys where everybody has perfect access to the water, and a lot of people have boats already, and they're looking for, like, I know that's an issue. You raise kids in the Keys. I raise kids in the Keys. And, you know, it's like, okay, well, next year they're going to be wanting to go out on the boat. Like, what did you do for your kids with boats? Did they have a boat?
Well, my kid was always on a boat, you know, so, I mean, it was pretty easy. Like, my kid at 13 probably could drive a 30-footer. I mean, obviously, most kids could. Your kid probably could, too, because they grew up on the boat.
Would you give them the opportunity to? Did he have his own boat? Did he have some freedom?
We had skiffs, you know, a little small boat, like a Carolina skiff, like a 17-footer. Mm-hmm. But I think at 13 he could have done it. But like a lot of his buddies, I mean, no way.
Well,
I used to get so nervous, not about my kid going out, but with his friends going with him.
Right.
I mean, half of them they didn't dive, they didn't swim, they didn't fish, and I'm like, oh, you're taking him out with you?
Right.
You know, like,
there's not going to be any help in case something happens. My friend grew up in the Keys, and he was like, he had a little boat, like it was a Carolina skiff or something that was not capable of much more than
you're not taking it offshore, right? Yeah.
And he said that everything was cool until Dad found mahi in the freezer. he was like,
he went out 20 miles.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. I got to say, I did that when I was a kid.
Dallas needs something.
Dallas, this guy right here was the legend today.
Dallas making a dash through the podcast.
Oh man, it's just it's easier said than done, and I get why. Like, I'm still going through the approval process to give the kid their license. Yeah. You know, like that's what I need. Once I get that accomplished, okay, then we can go on to the next plan. But yeah, I mean, if they're going to take this course online that we have and that's entertaining I got to give them something. So, you know.
Yeah, get them started early.
Yeah,
that's the best thing to do.
That's exactly
like you say, sometimes the people go out on the boat, they have a bad experience. Now they're buying an RV.
Right.
Get those kids started young.
I made a t-shirt.
Really little.
I made a t-shirt. Hashtag start 'em young.
Yeah, start 'em young. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what we do. We sell little toddler kids that says hashtag start 'em young.
I love that because, I mean, I don't know any other place than on the water where I had better quality time with my family. And you know, you go out on your boat, you're spending time, you're learning all kinds of things. There's all types of like coming of age type things. Like, okay, you're old enough to fillet that fish by yourself. Here's a knife. You know, we've talked about how to use it. And now you're using this sharp knife as a little kid. And then the next thing you know, they're filleting fish. Next thing you know, you're like, okay, you're now old enough to where you can start driving, you know, with not in my lap. Now you can stand up there and you can actually use the throttles. And there's these steps that a lot of people don't necessarily have in their life anymore. Like, we used to have the Boy Scouts, and they were like merit badges and all these different things. And there were like all these coming of age opportunities to become a man, become a grown up, become a real, you know, like an adult.
Yeah, people are skipping them steps nowadays.
Well, it's just kind of disappeared in a lot of ways. But on the water and fishing and boating and diving and snorkeling, that's all still there. Like, you can learn these little steps, and the next thing you know, you can have a boat at 15 years old. You could know where to go and how to do it. And I think that a lot of parents want that, but they also, you know, it's like, I don't know. Does the kid really know what he's doing? Like, if you're a boater yourself, you can teach the kid. Or if you're a professional charter captain, of course you're gonna be the best teacher for your kid. But some people are like, well, I'm not really a very good boater myself. But their kids are really, they want to do it because they're watching your page.
So for those people that are concerned about that, take the time to just maybe even hire somebody or whatever, because I mean there's no regulations that are saying your kid has to go pass a like an operating test, but get him out there with a captain. I'm sure I know plenty of captains that would love to go like train a kid how to dock a boat, train him how to set an anchor, that kind of stuff.
Well, there are camps.
Oh yeah, there's a
like
bunch.
like Matt Budd. Do you know him?
Yeah,
he's in Jupiter. He's got a great little camp.
There's a few, man, and I know them, and it's just unfortunate. A lot of them don't get the. There's I don't know. It's hard to get people convinced to pay for that.
Yeah. Well,
there's a guy at Crandon Park that does that too. He has the same boat. I forget. Can't remember his name, but he has the same boat like I got, and he does that all summer long. He just takes out kids and they do cast netting. They do 2 days like on the dock. You're learning how to tie knots, learning how to throw a cast net, learning safety.
But it's a great opportunity for a charter guide that's kind of struggling with some business. Is like, that's an off time of the year for a lot of places, July and August and stuff like that. And then the kids are out of school; they don't have anything to do. The parents are looking for something to do.
Actually, it made me think. I got a guy by home. His name's Jordan. He does called Fish Camp.
Yeah,
and he's got a bunch of like 22-foot Parkers. He's got captains on and brings on a bunch of kids and fishing, same kind of thing. I was like, man, Jordan, that is genius, man.
Yeah,
good job.
Well, it's good because you're getting so many kids involved, and some of those kids probably go on to be captains. Some of those kids will probably go on to be a lifelong fisherman. Some of them will really not like it and probably not do it again.
And that's fine.
But that's cool. But at least they had that experience, and I don't know. I think that's what we've got to do. I think COVID was really good for us because before COVID, the entire fishing industry was like, dude, we got to figure out how we get kids into this sport because the fishing licenses are way down.
Really? I didn't know that.
Way down. But then COVID happened, and then all the fishing licenses went way up, and we got way more kids into it. And I think it's really healthy now because you have a lot of the YouTube stuff going on where their kids are fishing in the ponds and stuff, and they're doing it on their bicycle or they're just driving to the ponds or walking to the ponds. That's been a very good thing to get a lot of kids involved. And we need to keep nourishing that, not make them in trouble for trespassing. They're out there and also we need to teach the kids trespassing is not cool, man. You need to get permission and do this. If you went and asked that person, they probably would have said, sure,
yeah, sure, go ahead. You can go on my property.
Yeah, you can go on my property. Don't leave any trash. But you can go, and every time you come, please check in, and you could probably fish there.
Yeah.
But you have some of these other ones that want views or whatever, and they're going and getting in trouble, and then they put that on the internet. I don't know. I don't think that's healthy.
I got kids now that say, think about this. I hear this, and I would be the same way if I was a kid. But they're out there in the water by us, and they know people are watching, and they know there's cameras. So if you're running the boat and you don't want to be unqualified captain, so they're thinking twice about going out there getting drunk and doing God knows what. So which is cool to hear though. They're like, man, hey, listen, I'm running whether it's my boat or Dad's boat, I'm running the boat today, and I do not want to be an idiot today. Think
how many people do you meet and they say my goal in life is just not to end up on your page.
A lot.
I mean, it's true, though.
We ran into some guy in the airport the other day. He waved at us and knew. I was like, this is weird.
The guy pulls back into the boat ramp. He sees your truck. He's like, all right, well, not fishing today. Don't want to mess up. I'm driving out of here.
How about this? How about me having my big logo on my boat?
Do you have it on there?
Oh yeah.
People see you and they can start going the other way.
I pull up to one of our bars or docks, and I got the cameras out because they're just waiting for the minute that I screw up or something with my big logo.
Hey, it's gonna happen.
It's already happened.
It happens.
We all make mistakes. It's just the ignorant ones and the people that are complacent. That's what bothers me. Because it's some of the 90% of the stuff I see is so easily could have been prevented.
Mm-hmm.
And it's putting other lives at risk. That pisses me off so bad.
It goes back to being more educated.
Education.
And another thing about those camps you're talking about is the parents. A lot of these parents are working. They'll pay the money.
Yep.
Sure.
Rather than sitting in
playing video games,
playing video games or whatever, or dropping them off at their buddy's house. They'll pay for their kid and their buddy. Some people they want their kid to be in it. They'll pay for the other guy's kid to go do it. Because I've done that before too. When I took my kid to a ball game,
sure.
My kid doesn't want to go unless I bring his buddy with me. My daughter don't want to go to Disney World unless she can bring her friend with her. So now you're getting more people involved, and people are paying for that. People will pay for it.
Education plus safety equals whatever you want to call it, cool or a good reputation from people like you guys. If you see a young kid doing that, you'd shake their hand and be like, hey, good job, man.
Absolutely.
Dude, I remember when I was young, I used to love when I called an old man like saying that good job. I love that. You know,
that's one thing we do. Like on our boat, I like to get people, like the people show up with the little kids never done it before. Get them casting, get them hooking their own fish. You know, get them interested in it. You know, anybody can hook a guy a fish. Say, here you go.
That's what I'm trying to get Anna to do today.
Wind it halfway in. You know, you were into the fishing.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you could tell he grabbed the rod right away. He's like, you didn't have to tell him anything.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm telling you, I'm out in the Keys, having a blast. With
girlfriend needed a little more training, but she caught on.
I'm with two legends. I'm in the Keys. I'm at Hawks Cay. This place is freaking beautiful. I'm blessed, man.
I'll tell you what, we got a lot of stuff going on even today, and we're live here. If you are around, we've got, man, there's so much going on. We got the soft open of the store. We've got Invincible brought 3 or 4 different models. You can take a ride on those.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Look through them. We got a Costa boat over there. We've got all kinds of stuff like that going on. There's
you said there's gonna be food later too?
Yeah, there's food. There's gonna be a band playing here. A boat parade.
Yep.
What is the boat parade? It's the Duck Key Boat Parade.
You know, I've never done the boat parade.
Yeah.
And I told Dallas, I said, we're going to do it next year because this boat here with the tower I got that's up there, I mean, we could.
You could make it look exactly like a Christmas
we
tree.
could, up on the front of the boat, we could have Santa and Frosty the Snowman and the reindeer. That's going to be one of my goals next year is to decorate this boat for the boat parade.
I'll come help you out. We'll make this an
I live in Tavernier. I don't live here directly, so I got to drive north.
Yeah.
Like tonight, my daughter's doing recital. Not my daughter, but my granddaughter doing recital at Founders Park. He knows what Founders is, so they're prepping for that. So I got to be there at 6 o'clock tonight.
Gotcha.
Gotcha. That's the name of my boat.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna put him in charge of advertising. He says "gotcha" a lot.
That's right. We're sitting here doing it.
Yeah.
No, we're excited, man. This is gonna be. I've got to give a shout out to Hawks Cay. They called us. They're like, man, you're coming, right? I'm like, all right, yeah, I'm doing it. Let's do it. You know.
Well, we wanted to. We were going to do a joint podcast, or one that I was going to be on yours, you were going to be on mine. This works even better. We're live on both. But you're going to be coming down a lot more, I think.
Yeah, and I'm going to bring my videographer down here. I got a lot of questions for you too. I want to know your whole background and all that. But so we'll have to do another one. Hopefully the next trip I come down here, I can bring my boat, do some diving, fishing, and kind of get more comfortable with the area. I don't know the waters here at all, but I would like to.
You ever fish inshore?
Yeah, a little bit, not as much, but yeah.
Yeah, well, that's fun. I mean, there's so much to offer. Like, there's so many people that come to the Keys and like they're either just into inshore fishing and they never go offshore fishing and they don't ever see what's out there, and it's amazing out there.
Yeah.
And then there's so many people that go out there and they never go inshore and see what's back in the Everglades and at the bridges and all these on the flats in a foot and a half of water, and that's amazing too.
Never done that here.
Yeah,
I've always gone here. Never.
Well, I know a guy that can put you on something.
Let's do it, man.
I also know a guy that can put you on the other.
Yeah.
But we'll do that for sure. So what's the plan? What are you when are you coming back?
I'm looking at if Chris calls, I don't know. I'm looking at April, May.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's when the tarpon are here, so we can definitely do that. That's a good time here. April, May. We, as many people know, we have a tarpon migration, and we are in the heart of the tarpon migration right here. We got all this amazing water right out front. They swim out front. People fly fish for them, like swim out front. So they're migrating along the white sand spots, and you see schools of. You could see a school of 500 out there. You could see a school of 5 out there. You could see a single out there. But then the Long Key Bridge is just right up here, and even these little bridges right here hold a lot of tarpon. And I mean, if you just look on the backside of the gotcha right now, this is probably the best tarpon spot in all of the Keys right here, except for maybe Robbie's. But you can't fish here.
Yeah.
But
people always ask me, "Where's the best place to fish?" I said, "Well, anywhere you see one of those no fishing signs,
that's
there's fish there.
That's right.
They don't put theirs where there's no fish.
That's right.
That's a good spot.
That's right. Now that is a deal. Like the tarpon fishing in the marinas, there's a reason. Like, some people are like, I don't understand why they don't want people tarpon fishing in the marinas. Well, you have a 120-pound fish that's going to jump into a boat that
it's also not very
working
sporty
boat, right?
Oh, I've seen them jump in the boat.
Yeah, and if you got in this boat the next morning, even if somebody took it out, it would look like a murder scene in here, and it's not cool.
It's not very sporty either.
No,
I remember one time years ago, probably I know it was before the hurricane. The tailwalker was backing in one time, and one of the tarpon just jumped, not even hooked up, jumped in the back of the boat. And they had 6 people and the mate in the cockpit of the boat. And that old tailwalker had a really small cockpit. So there were 6 people, a mate, and a tarpon in the boat,
dude.
But like
And that
nobody even had a
tarpon-
hook. He just
That
jumped in the
tarpon
boat.
is perfectly green.
Oh, he's
like,
green. The
I
scales,
mean, even
and
like
the,
if you
and the
fight the
guts,
fish
the
a little
blood.
bit and it jumps in the boat, it's at least worn itself out a good bit, and those sometimes do jump in the boat. But one that just hops
Yeah,
in,
the middle, it was like
that's
a
not
100
even
pounder
hooked.
too.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to let that thing. You're gonna break your. It's gonna break your legs
Yeah.
if you go over there
Yeah.
and try to get that thing, and try to get the tourists away from it as fast as possible. Like, oh, let me help it.
No.
Snap.
Now your arm's broke or your leg
Right.
broke.
I mean, man, that's
not good.
bad. So what's the plan for the qualified captain? You got a lot of stuff going on. You got more stuff on the horizon.
Yeah.
What do you have like a
So-
vision of what you want this to turn out to be?
So yeah, I mean, I loved at first. We're building this big apparel brand, which is moving pretty smoothly now. I mean, my sister's a graphic designer; she's been killing it. I kind of handed that side of the business to her, and now me, man, I just want to do more content creation and fun. Like, I mean, obviously, education is a big thing. We're going to keep that going, but I also want to go and tour marinas and resorts all the time. We're talking about doing a series where we're going to, travel all over the country and. You ever watch Dirty Jobs with Mike Rowe?
Yeah, of
Well,
course.
we want to go interview different captain jobs. So whether it's charter captains like you guys, or then go to ferry boat captains, or pilot captains, or merchant mariners that are bringing oil rigs. Like, there's so many different careers in that way.
Sea tow guys.
Seato, there you go.
Yeah.
Exactly.
that's a really good idea.
So-
I mean, that is a really good idea
There's-
because there are so many different things, from somebody that is a captain that like gets his hands dirty every day to somebody that is wearing whites that is up in the.
I mean, I know some guys that are in the
pilot
lakes that are wakeboard captains that teach people how to wakeboard, and it just, the list goes on. You got to remember the qualified captain is, a lot of people think I'm just so focused on the East Coast, saltwater fishing, blah, blah. That's not necessarily, we're global. I've got such a huge following base in the lakes and the freshwater, and got to, not forget about those guys too. So we're going
Right.
to try to start exploring that, and yeah, just bring the entertainment too and keep that rolling. Something's working. So
Well, that's cool. Yeah, it's definitely working. You got a very entertaining page. You got,
Appreciate
and
it.
if you're not following it right now, go to the qualified captain. If you're not following Gotcha Sport Fishing, Gotcha Sport
Gotcha
Fishing.
Sport Fishing did a
You know,
great
that's
job
because that's the
today,
name
yeah.
of his boat.
Yes, you guys already know that.
That's the name of his boat. And then there's a new Instagram for Hawks Cay Marina, at Hawks Cay Marina. That's gonna be where the content for the marina store lives. All of the charter guides. I mean, Hawks Cay's got a great lineup of charter guides here, from bigger boats like we're on right now, all the way down to bay boats and skiffs, and those guys go back into the back. So whatever type of fishing you're looking to do, you can do it right here. That's where all that content's going to live, on that Hawks Cay Marina Instagram. So we'll try to push some people there and get some following there.
We'll share
And
it
then
a
there's
bunch.
Hawks Cay Resort also that you can check out. And even right now, I think that they're running some specials that you can. It's like 40% off, I think.
He's doing like a whole bucket sale. You fill a bucket up, you get
Yeah,
like 40%.
well, that's happening today. So
Yeah.
anything you can fit in a bucket, you can get 40% off on it. I think
Something
that's what it is.
like that, yeah.
So that's
Well, I'm gonna
happening
go in there
today.
and Pile a bunch of those Reese's
There's-
peanut butter cups and
you-
Snickers.
man,
there's
Fill
a-
the
I'll
whole
tell you what,
bucket.
There's a brand called Qualified Captain in there. They're selling a bunch of stuff too. So.
Yeah, you can get a saltwater experience shirt in there finally too. But Dave has not had anything to eat today, because when we first started showing up, he said, "You know what? They don't have in there donuts and milk, and you gotta have donuts and milk." And now he wants to fill a whole bucket full of snacks. I know you're hungry. You're hungry.
Well, that just happened this morning when I went in there. That what caught me eye was the Reese's and the Snickers and the candy bars. And then I noticed right away, I'm like, there's no milk and there's no donuts. We got to have milk and donuts.
Yeah. What if there was a
got coffee.
giant thing of bananas?
I love bananas.
What do you think? Would you take a banana on your boat?
Absolutely.
So you don't believe in it
I
at
had
all?
some customers not long ago. They sat here and they came with this cooler right here and they stuck 2 bananas there in the morning. And we went fishing. The bananas were sitting there, the guy's bananas. And I didn't say anything. And the guy's like, 2 hours into the trip, he says, "Hey, Cap, you want a banana?" I said, "Yeah, I'll take one." I hand it to him. He goes, like, "Really?" I mean, I was waiting for you to say something about the bananas. I said, "Say what?" I said, "If you don't want to eat, I love bananas. I mean, I don't believe them in being bad luck. I mean, that's an old wise tale."
Yeah. What do
Yeah.
you think, Aaron?
I was, last time I took actually Anna and we went fishing for Wahoo. My sister brought out a banana. I was like, oh, yeah. She had no idea. I was like, I ended up having a pretty good day. I think actually, as she brought that out, remember the big blackfin bit the rod as soon as she peeled that banana.
Yeah, that's-
So it can be good luck.
we got other things we can blame it on. We can always blame it on the moon.
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
if they're not biting, they're not biting.
Yeah.
You can't blame it on the banana.
See, I figure, why push it? like maybe there's something to it. So I'll eat my banana back at the room or at home.
Well, I know
I'll eat the
captain's going to
banana.
make the customer go
Oh,
ahead and
yeah.
eat the banana before we leave.
Yeah,
I'll believe it.
but then I know captains that say no, but then it's in you, and that's bad
Jesus.
luck too,
Yeah.
right? So like the Bouncer Smith is like the worst banana guy ever. He made somebody cut the Fruit of the Loom thing out of his underwear. That's
That's
the
crazy.
story for that. But I kind of figure, why push it? I don't really believe in it, but I also think
I'm a big fan. My son still to this day, he works with me a lot too. He's in college right now at Santa Fe. But when he comes on the boat, we always bring bananas.
always bring bananas.
Always bring
My
bananas.
friend Anthony Randazzo in Louisiana, he has run like 5,000 charters with a banana. Every single day he brings a banana. He's just determined that
And he has good days and bad days.
He does.
Just like everybody else.
That's
He
like
does.
everybody else,
Yeah.
with or without the banana.
Yeah.
Yep. That's exactly right. All right, fellas. Well, I think we're going to wrap this up for today, but let's do it again.
Yes, I'm going to be back down here in April, May. Figure it out. I'm going to bring the boat, and hopefully let's all link up together, man.
Very cool.
And I'll host the next one.
All right, cool,
Yeah, man.
man. It was great meeting you, Dave. Always great to see you.
Always
and
a
Yeah.
pleasure.
yeah, I'm glad that.
And shout out to Hawks Cay and Dave. Thanks for taking us fishing. Killer charter. That was awesome, man.
It was nice having somebody who knew how to fish.
we try.
All right. Well,
And I
we're
need a
gonna-
little work.
We're going to check out the store. We're going to have some food here in a little bit, and there'll be a band if you're around in the area and you want to come down. There's a lot of stuff going on. And
Yeah,
if-
come have a beer with us.
Yeah,
What
come
kind of
have a
music
beer.
we got?
I don't know.
think somebody playing the guitar.
All right.
I don't know. Chris picked it. What kind of
Country
music was
western?
Chris like? Probably country western.
I told him when he got up on the boat this morning, I told him we had music. We had country and western.
Both
we had
kinds.
both kinds, yep. What did we play?
Country Western.
There you go.
We have both kinds. All right. Thanks for watching.
Thank you,
We'll
guys.
be back next week with another awesome podcast. We had two legends here today, Aaron from Qualified Captain, Dave from Gotcha Sport Fishing. Follow them, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.